Hi, my name is Lala and I am a 6th grade teacher at North Habersham Middle School. This is my classroom. I'm actually in my planning time right now and I have a lot of meetings usually during this time. I actually just got out of a content meeting with another language arts teacher, which was really good. But yeah, I'm just gonna get started on this video for our class. I'm really excited to be in here. Right now I am going into my 4th year of teaching and this is the 2nd year of being in my master's program, so hoping to be done by this summer. And then for future prospects, I really want to jump right into my specialist and just get school done with so that I can really focus on teaching and just really being in the classroom. I tell my students all the time that I'm a full-time teacher, but I'm also a full-time student, and marriage, and I have church, and this year my husband and I, we were a part of 2 small groups. We're leading a small group and we're in a young couple small group too, and so it's just a very busy season, but very good season too, like good busy with a lot of new things happening. But I love being a teacher and I love being here in the classroom. Every day goes by very quickly. My experience with working with ELs, currently right now I do have 10 EL students altogether. But they're not very traditional students. I have 4 students that are actually in the EL program. 2 of them are in the program and 2 of them are being monitored. And so this is their first year that they are not in the actual EL system. And in our power school, they're not considered EL. They're in the general population, but they are being monitored, and so I have to still collect data and see how they're doing and still provide accommodations and modifications when I'm teaching and when I'm assessing those 4 students. And then the other 6 students, they have been in EL when they're in elementary school, but they have since then been out of the EL program. But I still have to collect data. I still have to, every couple of months, I still have to send information about their grade and how they're doing in class, how are they communicating with the other students. The lowest student that I have is at a 2.5 level, so like a 2nd grade level, and I teach 6th grade, and so I have to accommodate for the 2nd grade level. The highest student that I have is already out of the system, but they are still, I still have to keep data on them, and that student is about at an average of 5.9, so almost at that 6th grade level, but just not quite there yet. So I range from being almost at the 6th grade level to 2nd grade, and then everything in between. All 10 of my students, they range in those areas, and so I accommodate as I go with that. I am a certified ESOL teacher, but I am right now currently a general education teacher. I teach the general population, and I have my EL students that are in my classrooms that I just make accommodations for. So we do have an ESOL teacher that comes into our school part-time, but because I'm already a certified teacher, certified ESOL teacher, she doesn't come into my classroom, and so I already make the accommodations for my students. But I do talk to her about the students that I have. When I'm teaching, I do a lot of modeling, or I would write what the academic vocabulary term is. I would write that on the board so that they could see it visually and they can hear it as well. I try to simplify directions that I give to the students. I would verbally give it to them. I would give them an instruction on the overhead as well. Mainly just going over instruction with them multiple times to make sure that they understand what they need to be doing. Also, I give them an extended amount of time. They have extension with testing, any assessment that I give them. They have double the amount of time that the general population would have. And so we do that, and a lot of times when we take a lot of notes, we do a lot of interactive notebooks in here, and so instead of them writing down the notes, I would actually give them the teacher copy with all the notes written already on there, and all they would have to do is highlight as we go so that they can focus more on the content and not get distracted by trying to write down all the notes and to write it down neatly and get it in there. And so I feel like that has been very helpful in terms of taking notes for them as well. I do try to do a lot of interactive things with my students. Like for example, we just read this very long short story. Well, it's a short story, but after we read it, instead of just asking my students what the main idea is, we played a game where I had students come up and then they would act out different scenes in the story, and then we would have to try to guess out which scene they're acting out. So it's sort of like an opportunity for them to give me details in the story, but just like an active way. So I try to provide a lot of movement, kinesthetic movements, and visuals and games. They love games. And so the last question is, what do you hope to gain from this course? I think ultimately, as I was watching Dr. Griffin's video, it just seems like I'm going to get more ways of differentiating instruction for my students, making accommodations, and so I'm really hoping to just be a better teacher in terms of reaching out to students who are struggling. For example, like I'm teaching students who are at a 6th grade level and above, and then I have the 2nd grade level, and just trying to find that medium between the two. So I'm looking forward to that, and just being able to practice being a better communicator for my students. So I'm excited for that, and I'm really excited to be in this classroom, and I have loved Dr. Griffin. Looking forward to this semester and getting to know everyone else who is in there as well. Okay, well, y'all have a good one. See ya.